Hey everyone, welcome to ChaatNChat. My name is Josh.
My name is Miguel.
And today we're going to watch Kantara Chapter 1, but before we do, there's a lot of backstory and legends and all that sort of stuff about the history of these Daivas that we actually saw in the first Kantara that we watched. And I was very unfamiliar with them, and so I was asking one of our editors that, is there any sort of informational video that we can watch that might explain these Devas? And she sent me this video, and at quick glance, I was like, oh, I think this is going to be perfect. So I thought before we watch the chapter 1, we would watch the history of Guliga and Panjurli Deva. Okay. And find out where they come from, what they mean, the symbolism, who they're connected with, and it could help us understand chapter 1 a little bit better, because in the first movie when we watched it, I was just like, I don't really know, the boar god and stuff. So I know Vara, but then I was like, I don't know if he's totally connected to Vara. So let's watch this video and see.
Okay.
When Kantara released, people across India were left stunned by its climax. The fiery dance, the divine presence. It did not feel like cinema. It felt real. Audiences everywhere began asking, who are these Devas?
Right.
What is the story of Panjurli? Who is Guliga Deva? Today, let us pause and uncover the legends of Panjurli Deva and Guliga Deva.
Oh, I'm a fan of this animation style. That's pretty cool.
It is nice.
Panjurli is the boar demigod. His name itself says so. Panjurli means boar and Deva means demigod. His story begins with Mata Parvati. One day, as she walked through a forest, she saw a helpless baby boar whose mother had just passed away. Parvati was moved by compassion. She adopted the boar as her own son, showering him with love and affection. But as the boar grew, his tusks came out. With the irritation of his growing teeth, he began destroying crops, uprooting the fields, and causing havoc. Lord Shiva, angered by this destruction, raised his hand to kill the boar.
Lord Shiva.
But once again, Parvati intervened. She pleaded for his life. Shiva, pacified, decided not to kill him. Instead, he sent the boar down to earth. Here, he would live not as an animal, but as Panjurli Deva, the protector of
with
people,
the Trishul too,
guardian
like
of the
connection
forests,
to Shiva.
and a guide who shows the right path. This is why farmers and villagers worship Panjurli to this day, seeing him as the protector of land and crops. And
so,
because he is linked to Varaha,
really
the boar avatar of Vishnu who lifted the earth on his tusk, Panjurli is also seen as Varaha's guardian spirit, a demigod connected to one of the highest incarnations.
Right. And we saw him in Mahavatar Narasimha in the beginning have that huge
Panjurli
showdown,
is
which is really cool.
Guliga is ferocity. His birth is strange and terrifying. Once, Parvati Ma had brought ash for Shiva. Hidden in that ash was a mysterious stone. Shiva, annoyed, threw the stone away, and it landed in Vaikuntha, the abode of Vishnu. From that stone, a fierce goblin was born, Guliga. Guliga was given the duty to serve Lord Vishnu, but his nature was destructive, furious, uncontrollable, always hungry. Vishnu, unable to bear his violence, cursed him to take birth on earth through a snake named Nillalu. After 9 months, Guliga tore his way out of the snake's stomach. He emerged with unstoppable hunger. He devoured everything in sight. Hens, fish, even drank an entire lake. Legends say
a whole
he
lake?
even drank the
Dude's
blood
thirsty.
of an elephant. Yet, his hunger was never satisfied. At last, Vishnu offered him his little finger. Guliga consumed it and was momentarily satisfied. But his hunger and desire never ended truly. Wandering through the earth, Guliga eventually entered the lands protected by Panjurli. Both powerful Devas clashed. Panjurli, the protector, Guliga, the destroyer. Their fight shook the heavens and the earth until goddess Durga intervened. She stopped the battle and declared that from that moment, Panjurli and Guliga would be companions. One would bless, the other would punish. Together, they would ensure balance between mercy and justice.
It's true. Can't have one without the other.
The worship of these Daivas continue even today in the tradition of Bhoot Kola. Bhoot means spirit, Kola means play or act. It's not just a mere
So
performance.
that's what we were seeing in the first
Bhoot
movie,
Kola,
yeah.
the chosen performer, usually from a hereditary family, undergoes
Like
rituals
Rishabh Shetty's
until
character.
the spirit descends into him. He becomes the Daiva. Panjurli is benevolent. He forgives, he blesses, he gives culprits multiple chances. He is easy to summon. Guliga is fierce. He only comes when there is great danger and rarely forgives those who cross the line. When possessed, the Deva speaks through the performer, resolving disputes, blessing crops, and even settling land issues. And it is no coincidence, for in Hindu tradition, Varaha lifted the earth on his tusk. Panjurli, being Varaha's demigod, is directly connected to the land itself. This is why, even today, people believe that in cases of land disputes, praying to Panjurli brings truth and justice.
And that's what the entire first movie was about, was that land dispute of, they wanting it back.
Believed to date back at least 1,000 years ago. Some scholars even trace its roots as far back as 700 to 800 BCE. Unlike temple gods enshrined in idols, these Daivas were first worshipped in nature, under sacred trees with uncarved stones in open fields. Over centuries, their worship blended with Hindu deities. Panjurli was connected to Varaha and Shiva. Guliga was tied to Vishnu's cosmic order. Yet, they retained their indigenous local identity as protectors of the land. This is why, in Kantara, the Daivas' words are law. Even kings bow to them. So, who are Panjurli and Guliga? Panjurli, born from Parvati's compassion, sent by Shiva, connected to
He's
Varaha,
so cute as a
the
little
protector
baby.
of the land, the one who forgives and blesses. Guliga, born from stone and ash, cursed by Vishnu, insatiable hunger, the punisher, the fierce reminder of consequences. Together, they represent the eternal balance of mercy and justice. This is why Kantara struck a deep chord, because behind the drama and cinema lies a living tradition, one that tells us the earth is sacred, justice comes from the divine, and no king or government is higher than the Deva. When the drums beat and the flames rise in Bhoot Kola, the villagers do not see a man in costume. They see Panjurli, they see Guliga, they see the guardians of their land. And perhaps they remind all of us, we are not the owners of the land, we are only its caretakers.
Right.
If you liked what you
That's
saw,
so true.
don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.
Wow.
That was really good.
Really well done. Yeah, so I think that did a really good job. But for someone that has no idea about these village traditions and
yeah.
stuff, I mean, I think it summed it up pretty well. Now I have a pretty good idea. Actually, I kind of wish I would have watched this before the first movie,
Yeah.
but I had no idea what we were getting into with the first movie, and this actually wasn't made until, I think, just like 6 months ago, or, a
So
little
it
bit
followed,
ago.
because as it said at the very start, people were asking, who
Yeah.
are these deities, and
Right.
how is this all related?
Yeah, but now the first movie is like clicking and making so much more sense because it was about a land dispute, and these guys that had given the land, and then they were praying to, I guess, Panjurli,
Yeah,
to
Panjurli.
come. But then at the very end, in that climax, it was like Guliga Deva who came and, you know, the
Bringing
spirit.
about justice.
Yeah, maybe. So I think this gives us a really good start before we jump into the chapter 1.
Okay.
So let's go, and please, if you guys liked that video, then go over to the original video, which I'm going to put the link to it in this description. Click on that, go over, subscribe. They actually have a ton of informational videos like this that have that same animation style. I was going through their page and I was like, wow, this is really
Okay, so
good.
is this
And
going to
there's
be
a
some
whole bunch.
homework for me?
Maybe for both of us, because there were tons of videos there, and I really like the animation style, and it was very concise and clear, as if, you know, explained to someone like me that had no idea what I was
Has no
watching.
idea. Yep.
All
That's
right.
me.
And thank you so much for watching this, and be sure to catch our Kantara Chapter 1 reactions when they drop. Keep an eye out for it because it should be coming soon. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, sharing, and upvote the video by slapping the like button.